I'm ready.
Let's go.
This is a part of our religion. There's a reason to it. Yeah? There's a reason why there's a capital punishment. Because people like you, little weaklings, who leave their religion and cause corruption in the land by spreading it, the capital punishment in Islamic law would be applied to you. We have no doubt. And we're proud of that. Yes? And we, you know what? We'll be watching.
Oh my gosh. That's terrifying. Oh, here's the other crazy thing that happened. My dad actually talked to Ayan on his channel. I actually got people calling my phone number, demanding to either talk to me or my dad about the episode, insulting me. And there was one guy, I don't know how he got my phone number, and he was angry, like angry. And I can remember being like, you know, first, how dare you call me at home? You have no idea who I am. You don't know what my views are. Like, you're yelling at somebody on the internet's daughter for a video her dad put out. How does that make you feel? And eventually he was like, oh, I'm really sorry. Like, I shouldn't have done that. It's like, yeah, but like, you wound yourself up and call me at home. Like, that's crazy. That is definitely a concerning clip. And he has 800,000 subs.
Yeah, 800,000 subs.
Yeah.
He's the most popular Muslim YouTuber. And that video was, by the way, addressed at me. So he's talking to me in that video.
Beautiful.
And
yeah.
he's basically saying people like me, little weaklings who leave their religion and then spread corruption, meaning we talk about it, that we should be executed, and that he would be, that Muslims like him, his words, would be proudly watching.
Yeah, see, I can't imagine that coming. There aren't Christians online that I'm aware of with that kind of rhetoric.
I love how so many of these Islamophobes don't have the ability to represent me fairly by calling this child rape. How is it child rape when there is parental consent?
See, that's crazy, but that's part of the reason that's crazy, other than what he's talking about, is because he actually doesn't understand. He's actually like, how is it child rape if there's parental consent? It's like, how can you ask that question? But he actually doesn't understand, which is even scarier. Why would I be in trouble if the parents consented? Yeah, whoa.
And the context of this was, we were talking about Prophet Mohammed, who, according to the Islamically authentic texts, married one of his wives, Aisha, when she was 6 years old, and consummated the marriage when she was 9 years old, meaning he took her to bed when she was 9, and he was in his 50s. And people call this child rape nowadays. And he's basically saying, how is this child rape?
Yeah, wild, wild.
Both Islam and human rights are in 100% agreement that women are accountable if they break the law. And that means Islam and human rights are in 100% agreement that women should be beaten. We only differ on who should do the beating. You say...
That was good. That was good.
Do you understand the logic? It's like...
that's a little bit, yeah. He didn't take a logic. That's not how logic works. Therefore, women can be beaten. Okay, that was a bit of a stretch. That was a good one. That's a good one, and like, I'm probably more prone to laugh at these things, but it's actually scary. Like that's actually scary. If that kind of way of thinking, if suddenly that's how all your neighbors think, then it's scary. Right.
There was a survey from a few years back from Afghanistan where over 90% of women, or over 80% of women, agree that men have the right to beat them for various reasons, including if they accidentally burn the food or leave the house without asking for permission. In a Western society, this is completely absurd. But in that world, even women are indoctrinated into believing that, because it comes directly from the religion itself. It is the Quran, which says in chapter 4, verse 34, that women are supposed to be obedient to their husbands. And if they don't obey, then a man may warn the woman, then separate beds, and finally beat them.
Yeah, that wouldn't work with me at all. That wouldn't work with me at all. I'd just end up dying, probably. I think people aren't educated, and people are educated in like the Western version of Islam, which is like a hijab, and that's about it.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, that's about it.
And even there, we have these interesting discussions of people arguing that the hijab is actually a liberating thing, which I mean,
Yeah, that never like worked for me. I heard that too in university too. It's like, no, people choose to wear it. It's liberating because then you don't get judged based on how you look. And I was like, just give me a break. That's not even a good argument. Like, no. I don't know what the response to that is, just no.
Here, Mohammed Hijab, with 581,000 subscribers, says, I believe certain anti-Muslim women would wish they lived in the medieval period, a period where if a war was won by the opposing side, it was conventional that people could be taken as booty. Some historical accounts actually say some women would dress up for the captor.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. He like lives in the UK, right? Isn't he at Oxford?
Yes.
Yeah. 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 I don't really know what to like. I don't even know what kind of response to have to that. I believe that some people, he would like, how does he know also? How does he know if he wouldn't even look at me during an interview?
Well, he believes. That's what he says. He
Oh,
believes.
he believes. Okay, well, that's probably accurate. That's every woman's dream. When I grow up, I want to be a sex slave. Yep. Secret fantasies. Nope.
When Muslims go and conquer the adjacent country, the Prophet says, the first thing you do is call them to Islam. If they accept it, leave them. Khalas, they're Muslims, we go. If they refuse, then tell them Allah obliged upon you to pay taxation, jizya. When enemy comes and attack your country, you don't fight. We Muslims protect you. But the ruling is for Sharia. So you do not open nightclubs, you do not fornicate in the streets, you do not, no, Sharia rules. If they refuse, then we have to fight. And if we fight you, then we capture you, you become our slaves, and we take your land, and you take where, because you refuse, I give you two good options. This is the strength of Islam. But nowadays, forget this, maybe in the coming 40, 50 years when the Muslims become strong as they're supposed to be.
Just
yeah. If they refuse,
yeah.
he actually says something here.
Two good options. You didn't go along with it. Yeah.
And the two good options are either listen to us and convert to Islam right now. Option number two is become our subjects and pay protection money. It's basically what gangs do, right? So you pay protection money to the Muslim forces, and then you live your life with their rules. If you don't pay, then you are fair game. But as long as you pay, then they will take care of protecting you and all that. But if you refuse that too, if you just want to go on with your freedoms, then give you two good options.
Two good options, yeah. Wow.
Here's one thing. He actually says something very important that you often hear that some people perceive as fear-mongering. But what he's saying is, right now this doesn't work. But maybe in 40, 50 years, when the Muslims are strong, as they should be, then we can go out and start conquering.
I think people in the West believe that that's just what happened hundreds of years ago and doesn't happen anymore. And it's not over for a lot of societies. And it's like, well, how could somebody do that? It's like, well, they think completely differently than we do. And so, yeah, 40 to 50 years,